This review is of wonderful roasted and salted pistachios. Now, I really enjoy pistachios, but I prefer to eat my pistachios roasted but not salted. I want to taste the actual flavor of pistachios without a bunch of other stuff affecting it, because pistachios, for those of you who don't know, actually have a kind of a sweet flavor, and they're very, very tasty. Most of my life, I didn't want to eat them. And then one day I finally forced myself to try them. I was like, wow, this is really pretty good. And I used to I used to think that cashews were my favorite until I tried a pistachio. I like pecans too. But a lot of other nuts are just not impressive. Almonds, they're pretty boring. Walnuts taste like eating flour, unless you get the black walnuts, in which they're like bitter flour. Brazil nuts are horrible. Macadamias are pretty mild. A lot of nuts are either just bad or just there. Alright, anyways, I'm babbling. This is, of course, gluten-free, and it is non-GMO. It's just pistachios and sea salt. And, let's see, scientific evidence suggests, but does not prove, that eating an ounce and a half per day of most nuts, such as pistachios, as part of a diet low in saturated fat and cholesterol may reduce the risk of heart disease. See nutrition information for fat content. And now, of course, we have to wonder if that is even, what's correct and what's not anymore, because I spent most of my life being taught that fat was bad for you. And, and then in more recent years, it was revealed, no, fat is not bad for you. And in fact, the scientist who foisted this lie on us, Ansel Keys, who became the head of the American Heart Association, which is a nonprofit that is heavily funded by the food industry, and then the American Diabetics Association, or Diabetes Association, and their push for diabetics to eat lots of carbs, even though carbs are what cause the blood sugar swings that they experience, that force them to be on insulin. And ultimately, if you stay on a regular carb diet, it's going to kill you as a diabetic. Anyways, so Ansel Keys, he was a bully, he was a liar, he took bad evidence and turned it into an international obsession with avoiding fat, when actually we need fat. Our brains are primarily fat and water. I'm sorry, I'm ranting. This is not what I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm supposed to be talking about these pistachios. The back of this thing is it's a little bit cut off, because the way they made that flap there, it kind of cuts off just the first letter or so of the nutrition facts. Sorry about that. Alright. And now for the acid test, I guess you could say. Okay. Not unsurprisingly, tasted like it didn't get salted. And I'm happy, because it tasted like pistachio. It was nice. However, I did eat some of these yesterday. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I wanted a snack, and I wanted something that was relatively decent for me, although this is too much salt. In fact, one serving, or a half cup with shells, has got 10.5 grams of unsaturated fats, and only 1.5 grams of saturated fats. No trans fats. It has 135 milligrams of sodium, so it's pretty low in that. It's got 3 grams of dietary fiber, 2 total sugars, no added sugars. Carbs are 8. Now there's a little bit of the salty flavor. Now when I first started eating this yesterday, I was kind of like eating peanuts or crackers or something. The salting really very definitively alters the flavor of the pistachios to be something else. And with such a fine nut as pistachio, I really don't see the point of doing that. It just doesn't make any sense. Take one of the boring nuts, don't like an almond. Spice that up. Don't ruin pistachios. They're already amazing. I'm gonna say I really do prefer the natural flavor of pistachios. I'm gonna say that with the salt on this, it is kind of an insult to pistachios, to be quite honest. I'll finish the bag. But ultimately, I'm gonna give this a 6. Because there's really no reason to do this to pistachios. I think they're just desperate and wonderful to boost their sales without thinking, should we be doing this with pistachios? Or maybe we should choose a crappy nut and dress that one up. Oh well. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.